Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. In 2020, Omega redesigned its Constellation dress watch line, and this is the result. Today, we're discussing the Omega Constellation Co-Axial chronometer. It is a master chronometer now, 41 millimeters in diameter. You can see it's made of a combination of Sedna red gold, stainless steel, and blue ceramic. The watch measures 13.7 millimeters thick, and from end to end, that is rose gold end link to end link, the total distance across the wrist is 49.5 millimeters. We'll throw this watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see that one element that hasn't changed is the relatively tonneau-like shape of the modern Constellation. We've also kept the griffin claws and the bezel numerals of the well-loved and long-running 1982 to present Manhattan style. You can see that the watch is fairly slim for an Omega of the modern era, and it has a sloped case flank, so it will fit underneath most dress cuffs. It's not super narrow across the wrist, but I can recommend it for a wrist of 15 centimeters circumference or smaller. It is quite light, being mostly ceramic, sapphire, and steel. It's not excessively heavy. The watch is also nicely counterbalanced by its buckle, so if you want to wear it loose on the wrist, it's unlikely to move around a whole lot. There's an integration to the shape of the case and the lugs, which taper into the strap, and the two things are clearly designed to go together. So be advised, proprietary strap, you're going to need a proprietary strap on this watch or get a custom piece. Now we have a gusset that's inside the strap so that the pin of the buckle will not gouge the leather. We do have alligator leather in a matte blue finish. You can see there's a monotone stitch on the bottom. We have ribs to promote the flexibility of the strap and also allow it to aggress against the wrist and hold itself in position. We have a well-known Omega folding clasp. It's been around since the early 2000s, but it's an excellent design that's highly functional, polished and satinated alternately. You can see it's a twin trigger release. You must press both to release it and open it up. Once it's open, it's Omega branded, as you can see. You take the strap, you tuck it in, you buckle it down, and once you've done this, all the excess length hides underneath the clasp and the strap, so there's no need for minder loops externally. It's a very clean look and a very secure buckle of exceptional quality. The case, again, a little bit tonneau profiled, a combination of creases and curves, satin and polish, but also of polished scratch-resistant ceramic with inset Sedna red gold, and then the griffin claws, as well as the crown, which features both polishing and media blasting. Those are Omega's Sedna red gold. It's a gold that includes more copper, so it's redder, and more palladium, so it won't fade over time. It is a push-down crown. The watch is 50 meters water-resistant. The dial also features red gold indices, Omega logo, Constellation star, and alpha-style hands at the center. If you look at the alpha hands as well as the individual indices, you can see that they are faceted with a contrast between polish and satin. Now, Omega has declared variously that these tapered indices are designed to be organic or inspired by the profile of New York City's Freedom Tower. Could it be one? Could it be both? Very possibly. But I do, as a New Yorker, see a little bit of resemblance there. They are elegantly detailed, though, and their Coke bottle-like pinch and taper is graceful no matter where the idea comes from. Now, we have a metallic sunburst at center, and then we have that little star designed to remind you that the original Connies were observatory chronometers. In good taste, Omega gives you a date disc that is the same color as the dials. There's no awkward class there. The watch doesn't actually have lume, which is not universal on dress watches, but you can see the position of the hour and the minute hands. Now, because this is a caliber 8900, not an 8800, we get a bit more power reserve, a second mainspring barrel, and the time zone feature, so you can adjust the hour independently of the other hands. You can even set the date in both directions as you travel east or west across the international date line. Pull the crown out all the way. There is a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set the watch to a reference time. Well, the original Connies might have been observatory chronometers. Today, they go through the Master Chronometer certification, or METAS, developed by Omega and the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. It is a full watch chronometry test. Yes, it includes the ISO 3159 chronometer tests used by the COSC, and the watch movement meets COSC standards, but this is actually tested in 6 positions, not as a bare movement as with the COSC, but as a fully assembled watch. It's tested for chronometry, winding efficiency, power reserve, water resistance. All of that durability, and anti-magnetism. Thanks to an anti-magnetic balance staff, escapement, and silicone hairspring, the watch is anti-magnetic to over 15,000 Gauss. That's over 15,000 Gauss, or 1.5 Tesla, effectively making it an amagnetic watch. Now, I mentioned that you get a bit more power reserve with these 8900s versus the 88s. Part of that's because you have two mainspring barrels in series. They give you a 60-hour power reserve, and because there's two barrels, they give you a more even torque release, so the watch doesn't gallop and run fast when fully wound, nor does it start to lose a lot of time after 18, 24, 36 hours like a single barrel might. 39 pivot jewels internally. You can see it features arabesque spiral Côte de Genève across the rotor and the bridges. We have both polished and blackened screws. We have a machined but handsome bevel on the edge of all the bridges. And then we have the George Daniels Co-Axial system, invented by Daniels in '74, industrialized by Omega in 1999, and the tri-level version really realizes all of the potential that Daniels foresaw: reduced maintenance, improved power reserve, and improved chronometry. This is the latest tri-level Co-Axial, and it beats away at 25,200 vibrations per hour, which is the swatch-wide, that is swatch group-wide, beat rate for watches with silicone hairsprings. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.